Hey, Heart Seekers, welcome to the Heart's Hello Show, a space where truth meets tenderness and your journey back to yourself begins. I am your host, Kiana Talena, and around here, we don't do surface. We get real, we go deep, and we speak to the parts of you that you thought no one saw. Whether you're in a season of rediscovery, rebuilding, or just trying to breathe again, you're safe here. Let's unpack, unlearn, and unlock who you were always meant to be. What if I told you the delay wasn't denial, it was divine protection? What if I told you the door didn't open because you're still being prepared for what is on the other side? What if I told you the silence wasn't God ignoring you, it was Him building something deeper in you? What if I told you your not yet is the exact space where God is strengthening your character? What if I told you you're not stuck, you're being still for a reason? What if I told you that the version of you who prayed for it wouldn't have been able to carry it? What if I told you the waiting is proof that God is intentional with your life? What if I told you you're not late, you're on divine timeline, not a public one? See, these are the questions that we have to begin to ask ourselves when we feel like we're in a place of in between, when we feel like we're in this not yet season. See, sometimes I get it. It feels like we should be further along. It feels like we want God to give us the green light. Instead, we're seeing red. Or for some of us, we may even be at a yellow light and we're trying to figure out, do we hit the gas and go? Or do we go ahead and slow down because we're not going to get through the intersection in time? See, in this episode, we are going to dive into how it feels to sometimes be in this space and be discouraged in the delay, but also questioning if we missed God or wondering if the not yet means no. So let's sit with this for a second because we're going to unpack it. And most of all, we're going to get honest about what we do in this space. You ready? You feel a bit frustrated? Are you frustrated with the wait? I understand, but let me tell you the truth. Your waiting season, it can be hard, but we have to understand that in our waiting, it is protection for where we're getting ready to go. We live in this world where everything is on demand. Our meals, our groceries, our rides, and even advice, especially if you're scrolling through social media. Some of it's going to be good and some of it's not so good. So when God tells us to wait, it feels like something has gone wrong. But what if I told you that the not yet isn't punishment, it's just your preparation? So you're not being stalled, you're being shaped. So let me set it up for you. I'm in this space that I've prayed for, in the home that I have prayed for, the cars that I have wanted, I have. And everything appears to be going well. For those of you all who have followed me for a while, you know that I have gone through a divorce. On the other side of it, gone through we never have fully gone through, but in my healing process of that version of me. And so now I thought I had it all together. I had the job, I had the income, I had the savings, I had all of the things, right? And then I get the Zoom meeting invite. Not sure what it's about, but I show up because I know that I have been an exemplary employee, only to show up to realize that there's some downsizing in my department and my position along with a few others. will be eliminated. My last day was that day. And although I'm questioning, okay, this shouldn't be that hard. I have great skills. I have great soft skills. This should be an easy transition for me into another role. Receive the severance pay. I'm like, okay, this is maybe just God saying, you know what? You've been working hard. You need the summer off. Summer came, summer went. Fall came, fall went. Winter came, winter went. Spring came, spring went. And I'm applying and I'm like, God, it's your daughter again. I'm not sure what's going on, but savings starting to look a little sketchy. What is it that you would have me to do? What is it that I am missing? And it wasn't until, my God, over the weekend where I'm sitting and I had some prayer time with God, and He revealed to me what I needed to learn in this season. And so, yes, the divorce season for me happened. Yes, the unemployment season for me happened. Yes, it took for me to have to apply to over 300 jobs and still not have an offer letter. But I was in this place of becoming anxious. I was in this place of realizing that my crutch was in the job and not in God. And so, although I have this brand that He has given me, this gift that He has given me, the talents that He has given me, I'm still doing not necessarily the bare minimum in my business, but I'm not going full throttle because I'm still feeling like I need the job to propel me. I need the job to give me what it is that I need. And God's like, oh, really? So you think that I removed you from the position for you to only feel like you need to be put back in a position that was stripped away from you. And you're going to put all of your eggs back into this same basket again. I had to teach you a lesson in this pause season, in this season of waiting, that is not going to be what is going to sustain you. Yes, you could have easily gotten another job. Yes, I could have easily made sure that they saw your resume and given you a call a long time ago. But what I needed you to learn in this season is that you need to rely on me, that you need to rely on the gifts and the talents that I have placed down on the inside of you for you to do what it is that I have called you to do. And I was taken aback because I'm like, well, God, I am doing the things that you've called me to do. I wrote the children's book. I published it. I did the nonprofit. I got that going. I posted some things about the apparel company. And he's like, well, if this were your job, how much harder would you be working in it? And y'all, can I tell you the honest truth? That was a hard pill to swallow because I realized that if the job would have come, that all of the things that I'm now working on, I probably would have put it back on the back burner again because it was almost like I had made the job the idol. And I'll tell you why. It's because I had been in a place where I had not had money in the bank, where I've had to file for bankruptcy, where I've had vehicles repossessed. And so I didn't want to get back to that place again. And I'm feeling myself getting emotional even in sharing this with you all. But it's in this space where God is like, this is the story that you need to be able to tell. Everything else that you have been doing has been great. But this is the transformation that someone else is waiting on, because they're always putting their purpose on the back burner to pick up something else. And so when things get hard, you put the purpose down and you pick up something else. And that's not how we should be operating in life. The purpose, our assignment, what we have been created for, should be first and foremost. And all of the other things that come in our lives come behind that. But see, I'm looking at this mentality that I have put myself, this preservation mentality that I have put myself in, because I'm like, I've worked so hard to get here. I've worked so hard to buy my first house. I've worked so hard to put money in the bank. I've worked so hard, not realizing that if I put all of my time, energy, and effort into building the very thing that God has shown me, that there would be no lack in my household. So I say all of that to you all because there is someone who is listening to the sound of my voice, and you're trying to figure out what to do next. What should you be doing in this season of your not yet? And the thing that I'm going to share with you is, you may have been given some instructions to move on. You may have been putting some things on the back burner because you feel like you need to do something else first in order to get to the next thing. But can I tell you that the next thing is the very thing that you should be doing to propel you into the next version of yourself? That authentic version of you that is waiting to emerge. So in this not yet season, while you're still trying to figure out what to do, I need you to get honest. I need you to think about, what is it that God has been sharing with you that you have yet to move on? Yeah, I need you to just think about it for a little bit. Because yes, it could truly be that your season is to kind of just sit and to prepare. But what I'm realizing is that a lot of people are blaming this season, or saying that this is the season that I need to sit. This is the season that I need to. And for some people it is, but for the majority of the people, it's God has already shared with you what it is that you need to do. And you have not moved your feet yet. So you're sitting in a space where you may feel like you're losing time, that you feel like you're losing momentum, you feel like you're losing hope. But I need you to get honest with yourself so that you can be honest with God. So you don't have to pretend that you're okay in this season. So you can tell God how you really feel. Because there's no healing in hiding. I'll say that again, that there is no healing in hiding. And for some of you all, you are saying that it is peace, when it's not peace. It's just that you are hiding. So I have totally got off of my notes, but I feel this so strong, not just for myself, but for so many of you all who are in this place. You're saying, what's next? And you're thinking that God is saying, not yet. But he's saying, I've given you the instructions. I just need you to do your part. Because when you go and do your part, then God can go and do his. And as you are being honest with yourself first and then being honest with God, even as you're still in this season of, okay, now what is it that I need to do? I still need you to remain present in where you are. See, I don't need you to sit, because for some of you all, you've been spending your whole life waiting for the next. So ask yourself, what exactly in my life needs my attention right now? What character, what habit, what mindset is God inviting you to that needs to be refined? Because there are still some things that you can do as you are getting clarity, but you got to ask the question and get real with yourself. And let yourself know you're going to have to protect the posture that you have put yourself in when you're saying that this is not where I need to be. And so even as you're still trying to figure it out, that does not mean you stop showing up with what you are already doing. So I need you to stay open. I need you to stay faithful. I need you to keep preparing, because yes, it is indeed coming as you're still figuring it out. And then surround yourself with some truth tellers, because you're going to need to have some people in your corner who are going to remind you of who you are when you forget. And so for some of you all, this waiting season, it may feel like isolation, but it should not be. This should be your time to anchor. So I'm just excited, y'all, because we have to get honest with where we are in our seasons. We have to get honest with ourselves. We have to get honest with God. Because for real, some of y'all have been praying to God. And he's like, if they would just ask me the real questions. Don't come to me with these prayers that you have made up. No, come to me. What is it that you want me to do? When you look at any of the individuals in the Bible, they didn't have this well thought out plan that they came to God with about how they were going to operate in their purpose. They kind of just showed up and did it and developed along the way. But we feel like we have to put on this perfect presentation before God in order for him to do what it is that he needs for us to do. And that's just not the case. Yes, it's going to hurt a little bit. Yes, there's going to be some pruning in this season. Yes, there will be times when you have to be silent. But let me just tell you that this is going to be your season for massive action. This is going to be your season to remain focused and steadfast and unmovable in all of the things that you know that you need to be doing. I'm not just preaching to you all today. I'm talking to myself as well. Because sometimes we're looking for people to help us to get to the next, and we have to move ourselves to the next. We're going to have to encourage ourselves in this season. There are going to be some people that come along the way, but encourage yourself. Build up your strength. So this week, I want you to ask yourself, what is this appearance of not yet trying to teach me right now? What light are you at? Is it a true red light? Did you stop the progression? Is the light really green and you have your foot on the gas? I'm sorry, your foot on the brake? Is it just the yellow light? Are you supposed to just kind of slow down a little bit and observe, but still be moving in the process? And if it is indeed a true red light and God has told you to sit still, what is it that he's teaching you? What is it that you need to know so that when that light turns green again, you are ready to go? And I need you to write it down, sit with it, let your heart speak. And I need you to begin to speak over you. For some of you all, you are punishing yourself. So I need you to let yourself know that you're not being punished in this season. You're being positioned. You're not forgotten. You're being prepared. You're not behind. You're right on time for the right thing with the right heart. So if this episode gave you a little breath, a little clarity, a little hope, share it with someone else who is in this waiting season. And remember that God doesn't forget what he promises. He just delivers it at the right time. And sometimes the right version of you needs to be in place first. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being honest with you. And thanks for letting your heart say hello again today. If this episode spoke to your heart, I hope you'll sit with it, share it, and let it shift something in you. You don't have to have it all together. You just have to be willing to be real. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep saying hello to your heart. And until next time, I'm Kiana Talena, and this is the Heart's Hello Show, where growth sounds like grace and healing feels like home.